again. Just thought that I would show you the turning out of this cake. Now, I've been at work all week and this cake has been sitting in its container since it came out of the oven. So it doesn't matter that the cake is sitting in the tin. You just need to leave it sit in the tin for the first 24 hours. This is so that it doesn't break and crumble and fall apart on you. So, I've already done the top part with the alcohol, and I was going to show you the bottom part of the alcohol. Up, put that on the top of the cake. Try and leave this wrapped as much as you can in the original paper that was in the tin. Remove the top. It smells so good in this kitchen right now. Okay, now I've got a mixture here of all amounts of alcohol. There's whiskey, vodka, rum, bourbon, I'm looking for a brush pub. That's what I'm doing. You only need 2 or 3 tablespoons of alcohol. You just brush it over the base of your cake. Right. Next, we grab a skewer. Any skewer, doesn't matter, toothpick. This is the end of a paintbrush. And probably about 1.5 centimetres, you just want to poke a few holes, about 1.5 centimetres in from the cake. Don't do it right on the edge or your cake will crumble. And you only want to go down probably 0.5 centimetre, because you've already done this on the other side. And then do a couple in the middle. Lovely. And then paint again. This lets the alcohol go down into the cake. Job's done. So now it's just a matter of re-wrapping up your cake. Now I've got my foil that I had on top covering it. I have that in across, so one piece is going one way and one piece is going the other way. Sticking back down. And then just wrap your cake up. There's your cake. So now put this, you don't have to put this in a container, but if you have trouble with ants or bugs getting into things, like if you leave a lolly bag that's open and ants attack it, then by all means put it in an airtight container. You may have to undo the lid probably once a week so that it doesn't get condensation inside the container, otherwise it will rot your cake. Apart from that, if you want to eat it as it is, eat it. If you want to decorate it in royal icing, knock your socks off. I think this year we will just be having plain cake because I'm running out of days. The fruit that I put in the cake is currants, sultanas, raisins, glacé cherries and dates. And this fruit, I soak my fruit for 12 months. It's now December, and I will make this fruit ready for next October. Sometimes I do it in January because leading up to Christmas, as everybody knows, it's crazy time, so getting ready for next Christmas is not really on the important list. So if you want to put in dehydrated strawberries and dehydrated raspberries and dehydrated cranberries that you've dehydrated yourself, that's fine, but they won't last 12 months in the alcohol. They'll go too mushy. So if you were going to use those, I'd put them in probably a week before you're going to make your puddings, so that they still get a nice good punch of the alcohol flavour, but they don't go mushy and then start to break down and go mouldy. Whereas your currants and your sultanas and your raisins and your dates and your glacé cherries, they will last and have stood the test of time from me doing this year after year after year. So I know that these fruits will last 12 months soaking in the alcohol. Now, if you don't want to put alcohol in your cake, you don't have to. If you rather use rum essence and your almond essence and all that sort of stuff, you can do that, but the fruit, like I put orange juice in here as well now, because there's enough alcohol and sugar content that it's not going to go mouldy. But if you were just going to use no alcohol, then soak your fruit for a couple of days just in orange juice. The fruits that don't go very well in Christmas cakes is pineapple, peaches and apricots. Dehydrated apricots are better than, like if you had fresh apricots picked off a tree, because they go a bit slimy in the cake. So I don't usually put those in my cake, but each to their own. If you want to come up with your own whiz-bang version, go right ahead, that's no dramas with me. This is just how I do it. There is probably hundreds and thousands of ways to make a Christmas cake out there in the world. This is just my humble little recipe that I got from my nana. So this will make, as you've seen, a Christmas pudding and a Christmas cake, or it will make two Christmas cakes the size that you see me make, or it will make two decent sized puddings. All you need is a kilo of fruit. Doesn't matter your choice of fruit, this is just what I've got and this is what I use. So we have a box of raisins, a box of sultanas and a box of currants. These don't need cutting up, these can just go straight in the box. There's one in every crowd. So they're in there. Break them up a bit. so that was 3, 6, that's 900 grams, 800 grams. Right, so you want some glacé cherries. These are mixed ones, so I don't have to get a packet of red ones, a packet of orange ones, a packet of yellow ones, all sorts of ones. I can just put one of these in. And we also want 100 grams, 125 grams of dates. Pop them out on your bench. Come on. And just cut them in half. Try and keep your fruit around the same size with whatever you're doing, because these are sort of, you know, you can cut these up with a butter knife. You could sort of get your kids involved with a safety sharp. That's what I used to use. I used to use a butter knife with my nan, and I cut up the cherries and she'd cut up the prunes. Not the prunes, the dates. Now, in older days, they used to use suet in Christmas cakes and puddings. So if you look up on the internet suet pudding, it will show you a similar kind of cake or pudding. And I used almond meal instead of breadcrumbs. If you have a look at my part 2 of this, you will see that I used almond meal instead of breadcrumbs. This is because breadcrumbs are nice and it's okay, but it makes the cake very, I mean, it's a heavy cake anyway, but it makes the cake very heavy and very sodden. Like it makes it very claggy. So I don't care for the breadcrumbs. My grandmother's recipe does say to use breadcrumbs, but I use the almond meal and it works just fine. So I'm going to go and cut these up. I'm not going to stand here and bore you with me cutting up the dates, and I'll get back to you when I'm ready to add the rest of it. So all our fruit's in there. There is 1 kilo of fruit. Now we're going to add our alcohol, and the ratio is, for every kilo of fruit you need 1 cup of alcohol and 1 cup of juice. So if you wanted to make this in bulk, because you need to make like 6 cakes, 1 for relatives, 1 for Uncle Sam down the road, and 1 for, you know, dirty Uncle Sal. So if you need more, you can make more. 1 kilo of fruit, 1 kilo of your choice of alcohol, doesn't matter whether it's a bit of this and a bit of that, and 1 kilo of juice. Now if you didn't want to use the alcohol, only soak your fruit for about a week, 2 weeks, because you don't want your juice to ferment and start turning this into grog. And you could use a cup of orange juice and a cup of cranberry juice. Make sure it's like all juice though, not 5% juice and 95% chemicals and crap, because that's just going to be nasty. So 250 mils of liquid is 1 cup in Australia. So you want, depending on how much you've had before you start measuring, depends on how good it is. You know, if you've had a few early on in the morning, measuring could become difficult. So we make this up to 500 mils. I will leave the rest of the orange juice to go with the vodka. Now, we are also going to add half a cup of dark brown sugar, sort of, you know, firmly packed, so you can kind of make a sandcastle. And we're also going to add a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Give it a mix, pour it on. And mix it all together. Now at the moment it's quite stiff and hard to stir and all that sort of stuff because, you know, whoa, it hasn't been soaking. So if you would like, throughout the year, let me know in the comments section. If you would like, throughout the year, I can make a little snippet video on the ends of one of my videos from time to time, bringing this out of the cupboard and giving it a stir so that you can see how it goes through the year. So if that's something you'd like to see, just let me know down in the comments section, and I'll try to remember to do it from time to time. So, I'll break you up. This now just sits and mellows out, gets extremely intoxicated, should not handle heavy machinery, kind of drunk. It sits in here, plumps up. If it does happen to get too dry and too sticky, then by all means add more alcohol, orange juice, whichever, up to you, until such time that you need it. Now, I can say that any time after 2 weeks you can use this fruit, but I wouldn't use it under 2 weeks because it won't be plump enough. You need the alcohol, beg your pardon, you need the fruit to soak up all that alcohol, otherwise when you go to make your cake you've got extra liquid in the bottom which will make your cake runny and it'll take longer to cook and it's more likely to burn. When the alcohol is soaked up in the fruit, it releases during the cooking process, and during the cooking process the actual alcohol content is evaporated through the cooking process. So you're left with a beautiful, full of flavour cake without an alcohol level. So it tastes like it's got alcohol in it, and it tastes like someone's emptied the booze brewery in your cake, but really it's just full of flavour. So we will leave this now to mellow out and come back in a few weeks or something and show you what it looks like. If you're making this at home, every now and then get it out of the cupboard, every week or 2 weeks, get it out of the cupboard, give it a stir, mix it about and inhale and until you need to use it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for watching this whole process. If you've seen the Christmas pudding and cake video from start to finish, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely Christmas. Thanks for watching. Happy prepping.